A lot of people don't like to work out.
And you do.
And I do.
So you're different, right?
What motivates them, why they want to get fit. But I always go back to the personal training side and think about the routine. Equestrians have a hard time even getting a horse in routine. Like juggling, I gotta work, I got kids, I got horses to go take care of, and then you're asking them to go get fit and they look at you like you're crazy.
So what problems have you had with people?
They go all in and they are going 5 days a week and they're crushing themselves and they have to be super sore to think that they're getting a workout. And they can barely ride longer than 20 minutes because they're so sore.
Oh no.
That is an extreme. It always runs out. They always burn out. And then it's, I got a bad knee, I got this, I got that. Now I can't work out either. So it's definitely short-lived. The other one is just the people finding the time and just never getting consistency and maybe once a week. And yet they don't know why they're not getting better in the saddle. Or they're not, yeah.
So there's a disconnect between what they think they should do and the results they're not getting.
Oh.
Okay.
And I think that goes across the board and maybe just gray areas of those extremes. But a trainer telling them that they should go into the gym or go get their core fit, or maybe they just don't have any leg strength and their legs are just off the horse and their horse just can't have that. They need a rider with leg strength.
How many trainers even think about it?
A lot more now. It didn't used to be that way. Yeah. What would be a good way to get a rider mentally motivated?
Probably very individual.
Yeah.
And so and one of the things I wanted to show this book, this phenomenal book that a lot of therapists use. It's motivational interviewing, and it's just how do you get at what might motivate a person, because it's not the same for every person. Some people it's like, oh, I'll look so good, and other people it's like, oh, I'll ride so well, and other people it's like, oh, I hate this.
Yeah.
Not going to do it. It has to be in what we call finding their why. Why might it be important to them? And so that's where you ask them questions like, we've been working on this for a couple months now, and I still see the same areas of weakness with your muscles, or I don't even know what you would say to them exactly. Just say, if you want this to get better, are you willing to? What are you, or even ask them, what are you willing to do?
I usually approach it as, what are you doing in the gym? Like, what type of workouts? And then I find out what they're doing. I say, okay, maybe you should add in this exercise. I could give a group of core exercises. You do these 5 to 6 days a week, just at your house, and put them into a routine, and how their bodies are going to start getting stronger just by that routine. It's a mental thing, like, I don't want to work out, I got dinner to make, I don't want, it's so like that, it's kind of getting through that hurdle.
And one of the things you can do with that is to say, when you think about doing this, what might get in your way? What's going to stop you?
Making dinner, children, taking the dogs out.
Okay, so is there a way you can work with that schedule? And is there some other place you could put it in? So you help them problem solve. It's like, okay, I've got all these things I have to do. Where am I going to put this in? Then you say, okay, where could you put it in? How about you do 2 of them at this time and another 2 before you go to bed at night? Or
so split them up. Yeah, make it easy.
So you do some problem solving.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I think it would be really helpful, and I'm sure you do this, is to give them feedback when you see changes happening.
But what about the people that don't have a trainer and they have to do self-motivating?
What they can do is say, why do I want to do this?
Ask themselves
what's the benefit?
Like,
what am I
right before they go and work out every day.
And even make deals with themselves. I'm going to try this for 4 weeks and see if I notice a change.
So make like 3 questions and just ask yourself. Maybe that's, and maybe that puts you into a goal setting way too.
Exactly. Because goal setting would be very helpful in something like this, to say, okay, what are my goals? And And then part of it is, how am I going to get there? And how am I going to get there are these exercises you're going to do. And then how do you measure? Part of goal setting is, how do you measure the outcome? How do you know when what you're doing is actually working? And so you have some things you say like, well, I'll be able to sit without bouncing for 20 minutes, or you have something that, they can measure and you can point out to them. Because one of the things about goal setting is you want something to be specific.
And they don't have any trainer. So they're by themselves.
So how can they measure that?
Well, you can videotape.
Well, the other thing is to say, okay, what are the specific problems I'm having because I'm not fit? Say, okay, can I do that? Is that working better now?
Horses will be nicer and calmer. You have more relaxed rides. Your horse isn't so mad.
Right.
It's just you telling you.
That's hard. It's really hard. And that's where having at least even a friend who rides, who can come and say, okay, watch this when I ride and tell me, this is something I've been struggling with. And then I'm going to go off and I'm going to work out for 4 weeks. And then can you come back and watch me and tell me if you see improvement? You could use a friend. So it's always better if you have a trainer or somebody who can be more objective, because you're not going to notice the change as much if it's gradual yourself, but someone else might. And so either bring in a friend who knows you and knows something about riding, or find a trainer you can go to once a month. All you can do. And they say, are you seeing any improvement? What do I need to work on here?
I feel like people need to be realistic. Don't go and burn yourself out and hurt yourself either. Like, take one goal at a time.
Well, and the other thing is, have a friend who can video you and video you at the beginning, and then look at it and maybe write down the specific things you want to see change. And then a month later, have another video and say, did any of those things change? And maybe rate it on a scale of, okay, 5 is I did it perfectly. It's exactly where I want it to be. Oh, I made about a 1 on that one. If it's better, that one I'm at least a 3. So I think what would really help is if you have a trainer, with your trainer, come up with some goals, like some performance goals. What do you want to see improve? And then it's, how are you going to do that? What are the exercises that are specifically going to help you with that? And then have some way of monitoring your progress, either through your trainer saying, I see a change in this is better, or videotape yourself at the beginning and every couple weeks.
Like, trust back into the horse. The horse will tell you if it's working or not.
Yep, but they have their off days too.
What goes into the mind of an athlete versus a person who doesn't like to be active?
That's really tough, because I think it also interplays with personality. Well, it's funny because all kinds of people, I guess, would think about wanting to ride a horse. It makes me go back to basic biology, in that there's 3 body types. There's the ectomorph, the endomorph, and the mesomorph. And the ectomorph is more nerve-based and more, in their head, a little more sensitive, and not necessarily in a good way, more nervous system based. Endomorph is someone who's more focused on their guts and their insides, and they like to eat. Probably those are the ones who wouldn't put a lot of effort into riding a horse. And then there's the mesomorphs, who are more muscle and more middle body systems. And those are the people who really get a lot of joy out of doing something physically. So I think there's something in there too that interplays with personality. But then you have people who are just kind of lazy, and if it doesn't come easily, they don't do it. Well, they're not going to ride horses for long.
Yeah.
Because that's not something that comes that easily. I mean, there are people who are naturally talented, have good balance, and are pretty athletic already, and they're going to do better.
But I think it's helpful if you could recognize maybe where you are on those 3 body types.
Yeah.
Like, if you were a more nervous,
intellectual, you get more joy out of thinking about things and physically doing.
They ride. They're out there riding.
Some of those get a little bit too much in their head.
But could you be a little endomorph and a little...
You can be a little of everything. You can be balanced. People who ride and do well in riding tend to be the kinds of people who do like to push themselves.
But what about the people that don't do well in riding but still want to ride?
And then you give them a nice fat pony and turn them loose.
But they're out there. A lot of
They are.
Yeah, a lot of those programs have a lot of riders that just want to give it a shot and see if they can push through it. And
Then you just give them a really nice, gentle horse with smooth gaits, and they'll be fine. And they'll think they're really good.
yeah, and have a great time.
I can't tell you how
Give
many
that
people...
nice horse a job.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many people I've met through the years who say, oh yeah, I can ride. Oh, when did you start riding? Oh, I rode a couple times when I was a kid. And you go, okay, anything since then? No, but I can ride.
I was in Ireland, and the guy
Oh,
sees
no.
all three of us, my husband and my daughter and I, and he sees that I'm in like somewhat outfit, and he goes, I'm guessing that he doesn't ride. She rides, and you ride. Tell him. He's like, I'm gonna give you the fucker.
Oh,
I was
yes,
like,
right.
but no, it was a good challenge, because then he was like, go jump this horse and see if you can actually do it. And then he was telling me I was going to fall off.
Was he challenging you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to see if I would
Yeah.
fall off. He's like, a lot of people come in and they say they can ride.
When I've ridden on rent strings, I've actually had a few times where, they say, so how much did you ride? And I tell them, and how long have you been riding? I tell them, and they said, well, we've got a horse that's new on the string that kind of needs someone with a little more experience. Would you mind? And I go, okay. And usually they're fine. They're just not completely dead yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Was it good?
Oh, it was fun.
Oh,
it was
good.
actually fun.